Hey y'all, so I owe you a PM update, perimenopause update that is long overdue. I am outside, so you have to excuse some of the background noise. I just needed a little vitamin D and to be outside. But I'm gonna tell you what made me remember that I owed you an update. So I had to go to the doctor today, had to go to urgent care, having some vaginal irritation, which seems to be happening very often during this stage of perimenopause that I am having, which is so unfortunate and so uncomfortable. What's happening is I'm taking all the probiotics, I'm doing all the things, I'm drinking all the water. I don't eat a lot of sweets, and if I'm eating ice cream, it's non-dairy. Like, I'm trying to really change my eating habits. However, just with perimenopause, your hormones are fluctuating, and so with that fluctuation comes yeast infections, even BV. And so those are some of the things that have been recurring. So I had to go to the doctor in October, again in January, and then today. And so now we're trying to figure out, like, why is it reoccurring? I did get an IUD. I got the Mirena inserted in January, the end of January. I have continuously spotting. I have not stopped spotting. From talking to people that also have the Mirena, what I'm finding is that my experience is different. Like, they didn't have the spotting. Maybe they had cramping for 2 or 3 days after, and maybe spotting on their first menstrual cycle after getting the IUD, and that was it. My experience has been much different. My menstrual cycle was scheduled to come on 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks or a week after I got the IUD inserted. It did come on. It was worth maybe a panty liner or a pad, but it wasn't heavy, but it lasted 20 days. Okay. And so since then, I have had spotting more on than off. So I've only had like a few days where I'm not spotting, and the cramping is consistent. I'm not cramping right now. I think this month has been the month that has had the least cramping, yet I'm still cramping nonetheless. I do have a follow-up appointment with my gyno on March 31st, which is in 2 Mondays or Tuesdays, whatever, March 31st, to kind of talk about my experience with the IUD and how it's been affecting me. I have not had issues with migraines, and that was my thing with the birth control pill. Birth control pills just activated my migraines to the fullest, and so I haven't had that with the IUD, which is amazing, which is good. But my husband is going through it too, because we're not as intimate as we once were because of the spotting. I regret not having a full conversation with him about getting the IUD. Really, when I did my research and I asked people that I knew who had the Mirena, their experiences were positive. I thought my experience would be positive. My doctor thought it would be a good idea as well, just to try, but I didn't have like a full research. I did not do a full conversation with my husband, did not talk about, spotting maybe from 3 to 6 months. The IUD was in by that time. So it has been kind of tough for us, in terms of us being intimate. So if you're thinking about getting an IUD, whether it's for perimenopause and you just need to like stop the bleeding, because again, I don't know if I said this in previous videos, but I got the IUD because my bleeding during my menstrual cycle was so extremely heavy during this period of perimenopause. So if you're thinking about an IUD, I would say talk to your partner, talk to your husband, talk to whomever you laying it down with. Have the conversation, because some things may change if your experience is anything like mine. I will keep you guys updated on the whole perimenopause process after my March 31st visit. After I have other questions that I need to ask the doctor, I'll write them down, get our answers, and I'll report back. We're gonna make it through this though, y'all.